Today, let's delve into an intriguing concept: learning to read people's minds through the lens of Stoicism. We all fantasize about the ability to peek into the thoughts of those around us. Picture the ease of communication, the strengthened relationships, if we could tap into the minds of others. Fortunately, Stoicism offers a profound insight into human nature and the underlying motives driving behavior. Stay tuned until the end for a video that presents 7 practical tips on integrating Stoic principles into everyday communication. Join us on this journey to unlock ancient wisdom for a calmer, more centered existence in modern life. If you value our content and wish to support our channel, please subscribe. Your support enables us to continue delivering quality content. Now let's dive deep. If you're here, you're exceptional, recognizing the worth of exploring a subject in depth. The Stoics posited that human actions are deeply rooted in personal perceptions and value judgments about the surrounding reality. By altering one's perceptions and judgments, life's entire landscape can transform. This applies not only to oneself but also to understanding others. Grasping the fundamental tenets of human psychology from a Stoic standpoint enhances our ability to comprehend others' motivations and inner worlds. A core principle of Stoicism is that actions are driven not by objective reality, but by subjective interpretation. Our reactions are shaped not by events themselves, but by the meanings we attach to them. Take, for instance, the loss of a job. One person might descend into despair, lamenting life's unfairness. Another might perceive it as an opportunity for a fresh start and promptly begin job hunting. This concept is brilliantly encapsulated in a story about a shoe factory. The owner dispatches 2 top salespeople to a distant region to assess the feasibility of opening a new store. A week later, he receives 2 telegrams. The first reads, "Terrible prospects. No one here wears shoes." The second one says, "Great opportunities. No one wears shoes here." The same reality, yet entirely different interpretations. Understanding this can vastly improve our interpretation of others' behavior. If someone is rude or appears annoyed, it might not be about us. More likely, they are struggling with something, interpreting their situation through their personal lens. To wrap up, Stoicism not only offers a pathway to self-improvement, but also a key to unlocking the complexities of human interaction. By embracing Stoic principles, we can foster better communication, deeper understanding, and more meaningful connections. Perhaps he didn't get enough sleep, had a fight with his loved ones, or received bad news. His irritation is a consequence of his own perception rather than an objective reflection of reality. Imagine standing in line at a cafe, and suddenly the person in front of you starts yelling at the barista for taking too long with his order. Your natural reaction is to resent this person's rudeness, mentally condemning him. But let's take a broader view of the situation. Maybe he's late for an important meeting and every minute counts, or he's had an incredibly hard day, and this minor delay is the last straw. His behavior is still indefensible, but with context we can sympathize. Understanding human behavior through Stoicism reveals that people often act with good intentions, even if the outcomes are unfavorable. We all seek happiness and well-being, acting in ways we believe are right and beneficial at that moment. No one intentionally harms themselves or makes their life worse. Imagine your friend forgot about your meeting and didn't show up, despite your prior arrangement. Your first reaction might be resentment and indignation. How could he do that? Am I not important to him? But think about it, most likely, your friend didn't mean to offend you. Perhaps he had an emergency, got confused, or simply forgot. It can happen to anyone. If we sometimes forget important things, Should we judge others so harshly? Stoicism teaches us that emotions and passions heavily influence our perception of reality and decision-making. When gripped by anger, fear, jealousy, or wounded pride, our ability to think clearly and open-mindedly is distorted. In such states, we dramatize situations, viewing everything in black and white. A friend of mine almost quit her job over an incident. Her boss criticized her work on a project in front of the entire team. Furious, she felt it was blatantly unfair and disrespectful, ready to quit on the spot. But she paused and refrained from making a decision out of bitterness. The next day, after calming down, she spoke with her boss one-on-one. It turned out her boss didn't mean anything personal but wanted to emphasize the importance of attention to detail. She was actually very happy with my friend's work and saw great potential in her. The previous day, she had been under a lot of pressure from her superiors, causing her to be unnecessarily harsh. Stoicism also highlights the importance of nonverbal cues and body language. You can glean a lot from how a person stands or sits, the expression on their face, and the tone of their voice. Crossed arms might indicate rejection or a defensive stance. A wandering gaze often signals excitement or a desire to hide the truth. Someone gesticulating actively and speaking loudly is likely experiencing strong emotions. By learning to notice and interpret these signals, we can better understand the true feelings and thoughts of our interlocutor, even if they aren't directly expressed. In essence, Stoicism provides profound insights into human nature, guiding us to interpret behavior through a lens of empathy and understanding. By embracing these ancient principles, we not only improve our self-awareness, but also our ability to connect meaningfully with others. There's an engaging tale. Seneca and his student Lucius, journeying through the countryside, decided to sleep under the stars. In the stillness of the night, Seneca asked Lucius what he saw in the sky. Lucius responded, "Countless stars, reminding me of the infinity of the universe, the humility and connectedness of all things." Seneca chuckled and said, "And I see that while we were philosophizing, someone stole our blankets and supplies. Let's take this as a lesson to be mindful not only of the eternal but also of the essential." They spent the night by the fire, laughing at their inattentiveness and discussing life's unpredictability. After all, as Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle is the way forward. Every trial strengthens and enlightens us if we embrace it with humility and resilience." Remember, our perceptions of others often mirror our own qualities and motives. We judge others based on ourselves, attributing to them the traits we possess. An honest person tends to see honesty in others, while a liar suspects everyone of deceit. Understanding this, we should consider the basis of our judgments. Are we projecting our perceptions and fears onto them? Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, shared a story from his life. As a young journalist, he was tasked with interviewing a wealthy businessman. During the interview, the businessman asked Hill detailed questions about his past, family, hobbies, and future plans. At the end, to Hill's surprise, the businessman offered him a substantial loan with no receipts or interest. Hill, astonished, asked why he was trusted so readily. The businessman replied, "I've studied people all my life. We see in others what we see in ourselves. A thief sees thieves, a liar sees liars, and an honest person sees honesty. You asked questions and listened with genuine interest, without trying to flatter me. Therefore, I conclude that you are decent and reliable, so I can trust you." To better understand others, develop empathy and the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Try to view situations through their eyes. What feelings and needs are driving their words and actions? What are they trying to convey between the lines? Instead of judging, strive to sincerely understand their perspective, even if you disagree. This approach fosters deeper, more trusting relationships. One anecdote comes to mind. A young man once approached a Stoic philosopher, complaining about his father's constant criticism. The sage advised him to imagine himself in his father's place, a man who had lived a long, challenging life. Perhaps his criticism was an expression of concern, a desire to protect his son from mistakes. Realizing this, the young man saw that behind his father's harshness was love. In essence, Stoicism teaches us to balance attention between the lofty and the practical, to understand others by reflecting on our own perceptions, and to cultivate empathy to build stronger connections. These timeless principles guide us towards a life of wisdom and meaningful relationships. The philosopher reminded the young man that while we can't control our circumstances, we can choose our attitude. He advised responding to criticism with respect and calmness rather than irritation. Taking this to heart, the young man began treating his father with understanding. He learned not to take criticism personally and sought honest dialogue. Another crucial principle of Stoicism that aids in understanding others is the dichotomy of control. It posits that some things are within our control, such as our thoughts, decisions, and actions, while others are beyond our control, including other people's behavior, external circumstances, and opinions. Imagine you're preparing for a critical work presentation. You've meticulously crafted every detail, rehearsed thoroughly, and feel ready. Yet when you present, you notice skeptical looks. Some colleagues seem bored, checking their phones, and you face tough questions and comments at the end. Your first reaction might be frustration and self-doubt. But from a Stoic perspective, consider this: you controlled your preparation and delivery, but the audience's reaction, that's beyond your control. Perhaps they had a rough day, found the topic unengaging, or have personal reasons for their disinterest. You can't change their attitudes, but you can change your response, remaining unshaken by their behavior. The Stoics also advocated for imagining the worst-case scenario to mentally prepare for it, reducing anxiety and fear of the unknown. If you're afraid of public speaking, envision the worst: you might stumble over your words, be misunderstood, face bored or critical faces. After running this scenario in your mind multiple times, you'll realize that even the worst outcome isn't catastrophic. One bad performance won't ruin your life, and you'll learn valuable lessons from the experience. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the fleeting nature of fame and power. He mused about how many once renowned philosophers, rulers, and military leaders have faded into obscurity. These individuals, once masters of their realms, are now mere lines in history books. Everything is transient, nothing lasts forever. Our current passions and anxieties, in the grand scale of eternity, are but tiny ripples on the water. So when we face criticism or any external challenge, we should remember control what we can, our responses, our attitudes. Let go of what we can't. The reactions of others, the unpredictable turns of life. Embracing this dichotomy brings a profound sense of peace and resilience. Ultimately, to truly understand others and foster harmonious relationships, it's essential to work on ourselves and our consciousness. The Stoics emphasized introspection, reflection, and the cultivation of virtue. The more we comprehend our own thoughts, emotions, and motives, the more whole and self-sufficient we become. This self-awareness makes it easier to accept others with all their peculiarities and imperfections. To summarize, Stoicism provides a comprehensive toolkit for better understanding the thoughts and motives of others. It teaches us to distinguish between objective facts and subjective interpretations, develop keen observation and empathy, and continually refine our own attitudes and behaviors. By employing these techniques, we can cultivate deeper, more harmonious relationships and maintain our composure even in challenging situations. Of course, achieving a complete understanding of another person is an unattainable ideal, as each of us possesses a unique inner world. Nevertheless, Stoicism guides us towards significant progress in this direction. It encourages us to accept people as they are, without trying to reshape them according to our desires. It helps us focus on what we can control, freeing us from futile anxieties. It inspires us to develop our best human qualities and lead by example. I hope the principles and ideas of Stoicism we've discussed today will help you better read the thoughts and understand the motives of others. Most importantly, I hope they provide you with inner strength and wisdom, making your own life happier and more meaningful. After all, the ultimate goal of philosophy is not just to impart abstract knowledge, but to help each of us become the best version of ourselves. Delve into the realm of practical wisdom as we unearth 7 invaluable insights on the art of infusing Stoic principles into the fabric of everyday communication. Prepare to embark on a journey of introspection and enlightenment, where each tip serves as a guiding beacon amidst the tumultuous seas of human interaction. 1. Embark on a quest of cognitive exploration before hastily venturing into the realm of reaction. 3 inquiries stand sentinel at the gates of understanding. What shards of truth do I hold about this labyrinthine scenario? Can the kaleidoscope of perspective illuminate hidden corridors? And in the grand tapestry of time, shall this fleeting moment wield significance? 2. Traverse the landscape of empathy, where the shadows of understanding dance with the echoes of another's soul. Step beyond the threshold of your own narrative and don the cloak of another's plight. Wander through the labyrinth of their experiences, tracing the contours of their joys and sorrows. 3. Engage in the sacred alchemy of emotional introspection, where the crucible of inquiry transmutes raw reactions into refined wisdom. Query the depths of your own emotional seas. Why does this tempest stir such tumult within? What echoes of self doth this reflective pool reveal? Can the tempest be quelled through the lens of philosophical contemplation? 4. Direct your gaze towards the shores of autonomy, where the tides of control ebb and flow. If the winds of change refuse to yield, unfurl the sails of attitude and chart a course towards inner sovereignty. Let the tempests rage, for within the sanctum of self lies the immutable helm of choice. 5. Ascend to the zenith of perspective, where the vista of life unfolds in panoramic splendor. Measure the weight of present woes against the backdrop of eternity. Will this fleeting tempest etch its mark upon the annals of time? Is the currency of worry worth its weight in soul? 6. Embark upon the pilgrimage of self-awareness, where the watchful eye of mindfulness peers into the labyrinth of the mind. Witness the ebb and flow of thought, the symphony of synaptic whispers. For in the crucible of self-understanding lies the key to unlocking the mysteries of human interaction. 7. Cultivate the verdant garden of empathy, where the seeds of benevolence blossom in the fertile soil of understanding. Peer beyond the veil of outward demeanor and behold the flickering flame of humanity. Embrace the frailty of imperfection, both in others and in oneself, with the tender embrace of patience and understanding. In the crucible of communication, let these guiding stars illuminate the path towards understanding and harmony. For in the dance of dialogue, it is not merely words that resonate, but the symphony of souls seeking connection amidst the cacophony of existence. Behold the labyrinthine journey that unfurls before us, a tapestry woven with threads of ancient wisdom and modern strife. Verily, such endeavors are not for the faint-hearted nor the fleeting of resolve. Nay, the ascent to sagehood and mastery of the mind is a marathon, not a sprint, where each faltering step yields a mosaic of growth and understanding. Yet fear not the daunting expanse that lies ahead, for in the crucible of effort and introspection, we forge the steel of maturity and the velvet of empathy. Let every hesitant footfall be a testament to our resolve, a humble offering upon the altar of self-improvement. In the kaleidoscope of existence, let us seize each fleeting moment as an opportunity to don the mantle of Stoicism, to peer through the refracted prism of perspective. For in the alchemy of contemplation, we transmute the base metal of adversity into the golden elixir of resilience. Together, let us navigate the turbulent seas of modernity, guided by the North Star of Stoic virtue. Let us strive not merely to exist, but to thrive in the crucible of life's trials and tribulations. If thou art prepared to plunge into the depths of Stoic philosophy, to unfurl the sails of curiosity and embark upon a voyage of self-discovery, lo, the gateway beckons. Venture forth and partake of the wisdom enshrined within the hallowed halls of Stoic advice. Gratitude flows like a river from the fount of our hearts, for thy presence kindles the flame of communal growth. May thy thirst for knowledge be quenched by the streams of insight that flow forth from these digital shores. As the phoenix rises from the ashes, so too shall we emerge from the crucible of introspection, reborn and revitalized. With each passing day, let us inch ever closer to the zenith of wisdom, guided by the beacon of Stoic truth. In conclusion, let us march boldly into the fray, armed with the twin swords of intention and virtue. For though the road may be fraught with peril, the destination is a haven of peace and fulfillment. Onward, dear traveler, to the summit of enlightenment.